This is Barbara Dunkelman, and you're watching Video Game Hour Live.
So I'm here with Lindsey Tuggy from Rooster Teeth, the voice of RWBY on, well, RWBY. How are you doing?
Pretty fantastic, can't complain. We're here at South by Southwest. It is the first day of South by Southwest as far as our interactive center. So as you can see, we've been hanging out by the booth, signing autographs, and the response we've had from fans is amazing. I mean, we have RWBY fans right over there who are dressed up as RWBY characters. So I'm pretty happy, can't complain.
So getting right into it, what's it like doing voice work for RWBY?
It's amazing. Again, cannot complain. It's pretty amazing to be a completely different person than what I normally am. I'm very low-key. I'm usually pretty chilled out, and I'm sure you've seen the show, but RWBY is very hyper and energetic, so it's awesome to become someone else for a little bit that I'm not and kind of figure out what that character's like and step into her skin. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan, and for watching it, I actually wanted to know, how do you get into character?
Oh, man, there's a couple ways. One of the biggest is I scream Yang, which is really nice. I like to go outside, and when I'm warming up, I'll walk around the whole parking lot of Rooster Teeth, and I'll just go, Yang! Yang! And that gets me into the character. So that's a great way to warm up. Also bouncing a lot, becoming more like a kid and just kind of losing your filter and being like, I'm going to touch you, even though it's weird. And, you know, kids don't care because they don't have a filter. Who cares? That's it. Yeah.
So, Volume 1, gotta make sure I keep that correct, just wrapped up. Is there anything you can tell us about Volume 2? Inside details.
I can't reveal too much. I can say that RWBY, Weiss, Blake, and Yang are going to be in Volume 2. Maybe a bit of a spoiler alert there. They're coming back for a second volume. It's okay, everybody. Don't worry.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you this. You will be learning a lot more about RWBY as a person, which I think a lot of people were concerned about, and kind of what's going on with her parents. Like, we haven't met RWBY's parents yet. Maybe we will. What you can guarantee, though, is more ass-kicking and more adorableness. Both of them combined together perfectly.
Oh, that's great. Well,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Of course, anytime. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Okay, so I'm here with Zech, correct? From Rooster Teeth. She's the voice of Blake on RWBY. So how are you enjoying voicing on RWBY so far?
Oh, it's so much fun. We recently started recording up for Volume 2, and it's just a lot of fun to work with everybody.
Awesome. What do you think of working with Monty? I heard he's kind of a character in terms of directing and.
Monty's a trick. He's full of ideas. So it takes a team like Miles and Cara to kind of take his ideas and center them and focus them on a plot kind of thing. But he's fun to work with. He's always an interesting person every day.
Awesome. So did you want to do kind of voice acting stuff, or were you just working at Rooster Teeth, saw a sign for the show and was like, yeah, why not? Let's try it.
Well, Miles actually knew that I had a background in theater and voice and all of that stuff. So he told Monty, after Monty had told him he was doing an anime show that he needed voice work for, he let me know that they needed somebody. So called me in, and I auditioned, and I got it.
Awesome. So are you a fan of RWBY yourself? Do you when you go back and you watch it after it's finished, are you like, oh, well, this is so cool? Or is it kind of like it takes you out of it because you kind of know what's going on?
I think I have the privilege of being able to separate people's voices and everything from the show itself. So I love the show, I really do, but I can't hear anything but me. So I can take everybody else out of it, but I can only hear myself when I do Blake. So I just constantly think about how I could have fixed it or how I could have been better about it. And yeah, there's actually one scene that I really love. The fight scene at the end is the if I can say that. But yeah, the fight scenes are amazing. I love those. But I'm super excited for Volume 2.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the interview. I hope you enjoy your time on RWBY, and we're looking forward to seeing what you do next.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thanks.
So I'm here with Cara from Rooster Teeth, and who voices Weiss on RWBY. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. I love South by Southwest. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So can you tell us about your character on RWBY?
Well, I play Weiss Schnee, which is German for Snow White, and she's kind of a little bit of the know-it-all / I don't want to say bitchy, but I might. I like to think of her as a mixture of Hermione and Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter. She's really smart, comes from a well-known family, but, you know, is a little bit confused, but is still best friends with everybody.
So I was wondering, how do you get into character?
I get into character by going into the booth and just kind of clearing my throat a whole lot. And I always start with the first line that was ever done in RWBY, what are you doing? And after saying that, it kind of gets, me into the character just by just going, oh, what are you doing? Kind of just being a little bit snarky like that. And then just kind of reading over the lines, and it's a lot of fun.
So what's your favorite part about playing a character on RWBY? Is there anyone like in particular you like working with?
My favorite part about doing anything with Wise and all the episodes probably would be whenever she gets really angry with anybody. It's always fun to kind of be mad, and it's really fun, especially for Wise, because when she gets mad, it's kind of really comical and pretty funny. So I'd say if she gets angry, that's kind of the funnest thing to do.
I can imagine. One last question.
Okay.
Is there anything you can tell us about Volume 2?
The only thing I can tell you is that I can't tell you a whole lot about Volume 2, but it will be amazing, and it'll be even better than Season 1. I can promise you that.
Well, you can't blame me for trying. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Y'all have fun.
We will.
Hey, Tyler here with Barbara from RWBY, and tell me a little bit about your character on the show.
Well, I play Yang Xiaolong. It's a bit hard to say and spell, but I'm getting used to it. She is one of the main 4 characters in RWBY. She's the Y character, and she's a badass. She has 2 gauntlet shotguns as her weapon, and she's RWBY's sister.
Okay, so how has it been to work on the show with, basically just people that you've already worked with and stuff like that, and also Monty, like how it is to do it? Okay, so I've done one interview, and every time I say, how's Monty, they go, ha ha ha. So tell me about that.
Monty is one of the smartest, craziest people in the world. He comes up with ideas that you would never think of in a million years. He has the entire RWBY storyline and like all these little details planned out years and years in advance. So he's a mastermind behind everything he does. It's been an absolute dream come true to work on RWBY. I've been a big fan of Rooster Teeth for 10 years at this point, so to be a voice actress in one of the shows that they're doing is unbelievable.
So how'd you get into like the voice acting? Was it something you already wanted to do, or were you just like, I like Rooster Teeth, and they're like, we also have this audition?
I actually never really approached them about it. It was Monty who approached me. He's like, hey, I want you to play Goldilocks. And I was like, okay, sure. So they just auditioned me for it, and they liked what they heard, and that was it.
There wasn't any like stereotyping or anything like that you were afraid of? Goldilocks, blonde?
I think I was typecast in a little bit because I think Monty sees me as kind of Goldilocks with my big blonde hair and really excitable spirit. So
But it worked out okay.
It did.
So what do we have to look forward to in Volume 2 that's coming out soon?
Oh, Volume 2 is going to be just bigger and better. Longer episodes, more fight scenes, more story. I mean, we've already developed the characters in the first season, so now we have a chance to really look into their background.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the interview. Looking forward to seeing what you're doing with the rest of RWBY in the near future.
Thank you very much.
So this is Monty. I'm the creator of RWBY at roosterteeth.com. I'm also the lead animator, director, whatever it would have. I do a lot of things. Yes.
All right, so we're going to get right into this. First question. How long did you how long had you been thinking about RWBY before the show came to fruition?
Minus the actual name. Might have been maybe 4 or 5 years of research and technology that went into like trying to figure out how I could do a show like this. But then there's also the idea of like I've always wanted to make cool things. So it's like, maybe 10 years ago I had an idea for a gun that was also a scythe, or like 8 years ago I had an idea for shotguns that were also nunchucks. It's one of those things where it's hard to put a number to. It's just I've always wanted to do it. So if you're asking literally, RWBY itself existed 2 Junes ago. A year out, pretty much as soon as Red vs. Blue season 10 ended, I was working on RWBY. Or the other long answer is, my whole life.
Ironically, that was shorter than the short answer. Well, since like you just said, you want to do your whole life, how great does it feel that the show's come to fruition and that it's had such a great fan response?
It's pretty awesome. We didn't think it would be as big as it is, and now that it's as big as it is, we're wondering how we're making it bigger. But we've got a lot going. I spent like 2 or 3 months of research and development as soon as season 1 finished. and I can already tell you that there's a lot more going on for it right now. It's gonna be a lot better, and faster, and longer.
Well, we're going to loop back to that in a second, but actually, well, why don't we loop back to it now? Is there anything you can tell us about Volume 2?
Volume 2, you know, now that all the characters are introduced, we have more screen time for just cool stuff to happen. You know, we don't need to waste time with introductions, we just do things. So I'm like thinking, okay, what do I want to do? And I just go back into my bag of like, all right, what's the stuff I've been wanting to make for years? Do I want more robots? Maybe mechs. Mechs are cool. Or monsters. I like monsters. More guns? Sure, why not? I've got a few more guns up my sleeve. You know, there's a lot more. I mean, there's like teamwork stuff I've yet to do. Like I had 1 teamwork episode. I want to do like 10 teamwork episodes. You know, I want to be able to do like. I wish I could do a fight every episode, but you know, sometimes I got to talk. Yeah, no, there's a lot more to be done. There's a lot more to do. There's a long way to go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is Team RWBY, and you're watching Video Game Hour Live.
Live!
Woo!
Right now! It's happening right now!
Go!